we live?
We are live.
Oh shit, hi everybody. What's going on, Charlie? How you been? It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. I've been good. How have you been?
I'm good, dude. Anything new and exciting?
No, dude, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. I don't know if you play that game.
Oh, fuck yeah. I haven't, but I want to. I played like the OG Baldur's Gate games that came out on like the PS2.
Yeah.
And those were cool, like the Dark Alliance games, but I haven't played the new one.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good, dude. It's a lot you can do. It makes me want to play D&D, but I don't have anyone to play D&D with up here, or down here. So, but
when I come down, we'll
play a game.
We'll play some D&D.
Yeah. So.
Like I said, we got to make that Cryptid fucking D&D campaign.
Yes, 100%
cool.
We do.
And if you guys are interested in watching, we can stream it.
Yeah.
Remember when me and Nadella played Catan for like 12 hours straight?
Yes, that was riduculous.
I was supposed to go home in the morning, and you were like, let's play Catan, and then I didn't leave until like 10 p.m. that day.
Yeah. Dude, fucking Catan, man. That game can either be very short or just very long, but no matter what, you're going to hate people.
Oh my god, we were getting into like verbal arguments about
it's like worse than Monopoly, because, you know, you really can just work together to screw somebody over.
Oh my god. But in other news that's kind of related to us, did you see that they finally admitted that the drones were government research drones?
Oh, I told you. I pretty much said that.
Yep, it came out today. They were like, yep, they were research drones. We were just flying them around New Jersey doing our thing.
Yeah.
So we were right. It was just the government being the government. It's the gooberment.
Yeah, it's the gooberment.
So here we are again with another episode of the Cryptid Files.
Oh yeah.
And tonight we're going to be covering the Sheepsquatch.
Yes, the Sheepsquatch. Very interesting one. I don't know if you can tell by the layout on our podcast right now, but we've got a bunch of cool little sheep creatures all over it.
So the Sheepsquatch is located, go figure, in West Virginia.
Who would have thought? There's no cryptids in West Virginia.
The Sheepsquatch has been seen in West Virginia since like the 1950s. It's described as the size of a large bear, nearly 6 feet tall or more when standing on its hind legs.
Yeah,
it's got white woolly fur, a dog-like head with long like saber cat fangs and ram's horns. He has fingered front paws like a raccoon, and a hairless tail like a possum, and it has like a sulfuric, gassy
smell,
musk. Yeah, that's similar to like a weasel or like a skunk. So he's a stinky boy.
Yep. So this cryptid was first. Well, they don't know exactly the date when it was first discovered, but it was like a common story in West Virginia in like the 1950s. So there was actually a college student that was doing a report on cryptids, Thomas A. Buford, in 1954, and he submitted the story of the White Thing as a part of his study in folklore. And the story of the White Thing was, it's pretty short, I'm gonna read it real quick. The night was damp and chill, the forest stood dark and ominous as 4 elderly fox hunters sat hovering over a glowing mass of red embers. As it affected by their surroundings, the conversation drifted to supernatural legends. Many tales were told, but most of them centered on the White Thing, which supposedly inhabited the very region where they were now resting. One of the men related an actual experience as told by his grandmother, who had lived nearby. She had taken her favorite mare to church one Saturday night years ago. As she was riding back 2 miles of home, she heard an unearthly scream. The mare bolted and thrashed her hooves into the air. That was when she saw the White Thing, a raging bundle of white bursting out of the woods beside her. It appeared to be much larger than a dog, yet not nearly the size of a horse. Bearing a coat of pure white fur, razor-sharp teeth that jutted outward from a gigantic mouth, it moved on all fours and screamed like a woman in terrible agony. Desperately, the girl spurred her mare on, and finally the monster drifted back into the darkness behind her. At length, she came to her land and an outlying barn. In her haste to reach the house, which was still a good distance away, she left the mare untied and at the bar door ajar. Seconds later, with a sigh of thankfulness, she entered the sanctuary of her home. In the morning, she and her father planned to search for the animal tracks, but at the barn they found her mare crumpled crumpled awkwardly against the door. Most of the flesh was torn from its bones, and a look of stark terror was on its face. So basically, that was the first...
It ate the horse.
Yeah, it ate the horse. That was the first like story of the white thing, which is the same thing as which eventually turned into the Sheepsquatch legend.
And that's the other thing too. That's one thing though, that this is not the only white thing in America. There's actually like an Alabama Bigfoot that's known as the White Thang.
Yeah.
Which is it's interesting.
Yeah.
That there's that connection there. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, he told this story, right? To what's her name? Let me get her name for you. It's important. I have it written down. It was he told this story to Ruth Ann Musick, who wrote the book The Telltale Lilac Bush and Other West Virginia Ghost Tales, which is basically just a book full of ghost stories from West Virginia. And that was released in 1965. And that's when basically the story of the white thing became more public knowledge. So, but, yeah, that's its origins in a sense. It's from the same area where they had. It's kind of near Mothman area.
Right. That's actually one of the suggested origins. Is it's another one of these like mutated beings from the TNT bunkers.
Yeah, it was like Point Pleasant and they're like the surrounding counties of Boone County. I think is the big one.
Yeah, Boone County and all that.
Yeah.
My first story that I have is from the 90s. Do you have anything before that? Is there just this giant gap where
they talk about it in the 50s? Giant gap where they talk about in the 50s and then
that's what I thought too. So yeah, in 94, there's actually two stories that seem to happen. A Navy man saw what he described as a
reliable source.
Yeah, the Navy's very reliable. He saw the beast kneeling to drink at a creek. And he watched it get up and wander off into the woods. And he didn't really do anything. He was just kind of like, "What the hell was that?" Later that year, two children were playing outside, and they saw one approaching their yard.
Yeah.
But when it saw them, it ran off. So there was nothing really too spooky about that one.
Yeah.
And then a year later, a young couple was driving down the road, and they saw a Sheepsquatch sitting in a ditch near the road. They stopped their car to investigate, and when they looked out, this is one of the first and only accounts where the Sheepsquatch had 4 eyes. And this one, he had the 2 eyes on the side of his head like a regular goat, and then there were like 2 in his forehead like a spider. Yeah. But when they went out when they looked to investigate, it actually like charged the car and like scratched it up. Only accounts of anybody actually getting attacked like physically. In '99, a group was hanging near their fire pit outside their cabin when a Sheepsquatch charged out of the woods and chased them into their house, and then it like screamed at them and ran off. So that's another attack, but nobody actually got hurt this time. It didn't actually do any damage. It just kind of like fucked up their fire pit campsite area and disappeared.
Yeah.
And then in my timeline, I don't know what else you found, but there's a big gap here. And then the next and last real sighting that there was in 2015. So only about 10 years ago, a group of campers were in the Appalachian Mountains, and they caught sight of a Sheepsquatch sitting on a cliff watching them. It climbed down the mountain and decided to like wade through a river to try and get to them. And luckily for them, as soon as it got through the river, it heard something off in the woods that seemed to spook it, and it decided to run away. But who knows what would happen if it wasn't scared off?
Yeah.
So
there's another very loose sighting, and I mean extremely loose sighting. So the Travel Channel did an episode of Monster Hunters or something.
Right.
And they went to like Boone County to look for the Sheepsquatch, and it was like, one of those, oh, it's something in the woods over there. What is that? And then
ooh, I can feel something against my legs.
Yeah.
So those are your pants. Oh, yes, but I can feel them on my legs.
Yeah, one of those. So it was like one of those like heavily scripted Monster Hunter episodes, but it was still cool to watch.
Pile of dung that clearly wasn't already planted here by
we should taste it.
Crew.
Yeah. We're gonna eat this crap and the main diet of a Sheepsquatch. But yeah, so that was the.
If you see in here, there's a lot of kernels.
Yeah, so that's the most recent one that I could find. But yeah, no, it's one of those cool ones where it was like a legend in like the 50s in that area, and then recently people have started seeing it again, I guess.
Right.
Which could make sense with some like more development happening now.
Right.
But
yeah, there's more people in West Virginia than there were in the 50s, and now it's like encroaching on its territory.
yeah,
And it makes you wonder if it's just one or if there's more of them. Like, is this like a Mothman?
Yeah, yeah, it's like
Where
a
there's just
Mothman
one that
situation.
hangs around?
Yeah,
Or is there like a whole subspecies of Sheepsquatch running around in the woods there? You
Well,
know?
there's-
Is he
you know,
alone?
there's a lot of cryptids in West Virginia.
Oh,
there's,
yeah. Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot.
Especially, and now, this is the first time we have two
Yeah.
cryptids that are like sharing territory.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's almost you're wondering like why are they all in this one area? Maybe were they doing some weird tests or experiments in that area? Who knows? But
I mean, it's West Virginia. That's like the meth capital of America.
I think it is. Yeah. But sorry, West Virginia. Get better though.
We just lost all 2 of our followers that have internet in West Virginia.
Yeah. They have internet in West Virginia? Who would have thought?
But,
man.
Yeah, man. That's the Sheepsquatch. That's the whole story.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
also it's an enemy in Fallout, and it shows up in a bunch of other. I think it's in the Cryptid card game.
Yeah.
Sheepsquatch is kind of a badass.
Yeah, it was. Well, it kind of bumped up in popularity recently too because, like, there was a West Virginia like magazine that put it as like one of West Virginia's top 10 cryptids, and then
Right.
people started talking about the Sheepsquatch again, like it's kind of like a new thing, which is cool.
Right.
I love when people get into like cryptids and stuff like randomly like that. You know, A lot
Right,
of
when a
people are
company
like,
has like a research.
yeah, and people get mad at stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh no, they're taking like cool unknown thing and demolish." It's like people with music.
It's
Like-
like the hipster bullshit.
Yeah, nobody likes a guy that talks about how they liked this band before they were cool. You know, like shut up.
Be proud of yourself in silence.
Yes, be proud of yourself in silence.
Since this is the first time we have 2 cryptids in the same actual territory, not just like,
Yeah.
oh, they're both in the same state. These are actually in the same county, wandering around each other. Let's do something new.
Okay.
Who do you think would win in a fight? Mothman or Sheepsquatch?
Okay.
Like, just take it a bit like territory war.
Let's talk about what the
Yes.
Sheepsquatch has for weapons. It's got claws, teeth. It
Horns.
pretty much horns.
It pees acid.
No, it what? Is that a
Yes,
thing?
it does. It's
Oh,
got
it does.
acidic pee.
Who saw it pee?
Somebody saw it pee.
Nobody saw it pee. No one said it pisses ass.
Apparently, it has acidic piss.
I don't believe that.
I saw that when I was doing the research, and I was like, I had the same thought you did. I was like, who the fuck saw this thing pee? And it was
Yeah.
like, that's gotta be acid. But it said it has acidic pee.
Okay. I mean, doesn't everybody technically have acidic pee?
It's true. We're just peeing ammonia, so
Yeah. It's just very acidic.
Um, it also stinks. So like,
Yeah.
if you want to count that as a weapon,
Yeah. It does smell. That is kind of a weapon. The sulfur smell.
and it's also big. It's bear sized. It's probably strong.
Yeah. So most of the descriptions I've seen on it, it pretty much walks like a bear and can
Yep.
stand on its hind legs. So it's pretty much a bear sheep thing. But and Mothman really isn't aggressive at all.
No, he just kind of squeaks and chases people. He's never
Yeah.
been known to attack anything.
I don't even know if these guys would even want to fight each other. If
It makes me wonder. What if he heard them? Like in that one story from 10 years ago when he ran off from those campers.
Yeah.
Maybe he heard Mothman.
Maybe.
Maybe
I don't-
Mothman was like, "Yo, get the fuck out."
Yeah, it seems like he's more aggressive towards animals though than people because he just killed a horse instead of killing that lady too.
Right.
And
right.
then
I
there's
mean, he
no-
did attack that car.
Yeah, there is actually one guy that said that he was attacked by the Sheepsquatch, but it was not super believable because he didn't have
Okay.
any injuries whatsoever.
Okay.
And
It attacked me, but I didn't get hurt.
yeah, I don't know if Sheepsquatch could catch Mothman. I 100% think Sheepsquatch would murder him.
Probably, because Mothman's not really an aggressive cryptid.
No, he's just a cool cryptid.
Yeah.
He's just like
So I think you're right. I think if it comes down to it, that Sheepsquatch would probably beat the shit out of Mothman.
yeah.
If he could catch him, because
If he
you
could
got to
catch
remember
him.
that Mothman
Can
can fly
fly.
like a jet plane.
Yeah, and he doesn't even like flap his wings. He just kind of launches into the air. Yeah, no,
Oh,
I don't
man.
think Mothman would really stand a chance if they wanted to fight each other.
Yeah.
Just
No,
'cause
you're
Mothman's
probably
not-
right.
Yeah, I mean
I think
Mothman's
Sheepsquatch
big, but how big can you be to fight a bear? You know?
I mean, they're both about the same height. Like Mothman was described as like 6 to 7 feet tall, and the Sheepsquatch standing on his hind legs is supposed to be a little bit over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
But I feel like, and I mean, Mothman is ripped,
Yeah.
but the Sheepsquatch is a fucking
I'm assuming the Sheepsquatch is
woolly
probably
bear.
yeah, it's probably got some natural defense mechanisms too. If he's got all these claws and teeth, I'm sure he's pretty big.
It's just,
you know?
it's also one of those things. You look at it and you hear the description, like it's just like an amalgamation of so many different animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They say it's got goat horns, it's got saber cat teeth, it's got a dog head, it has a bear body, it has sheep fur, like sheep wool, it has a possum's tail, it has raccoon paws. This is like someone's kid just like cut a bunch of magazines together and made an animal.
Well, a lot of these cryptids too, instead of like people look at them as like a supernatural thing rather than a like an animal in a sense, right? So it's more of like a spirit of like the forest type of deal, is what a lot of people see them as. So they're not I mean, it's cryptid. We have no idea what it is, but but it's not always like it's based off of animals in a sense, but it's not necessarily that animal.
Right. It's just interesting.
Yeah, Mothman can fly. I don't know if Mothman has acidic pee. Has anyone seen Mothman pee?
I don't even think Mothman has a penis, because not for nothing, he is butt ass naked, and no one said anything about it.
Penises? Is that a thing?
I don't think so.
I mean, they have to have some type of reproductive system. I don't know if they have penises though. Does a moth have a dick?
All right. According to Google, male moths have a phallus or a dagus, which is similar to a penis. The phallus is a tubular organ that extends through a sheath to inseminate the female. So it has a little bug penis. Yes.
Yeah, so Mothman's got a bug dick then.
So yeah, Mothman definitely has a mothy bug penis.
Yeah.
Sounds like I think Sheepsquatch would beat Mothman in a fight. Physically.
Yeah.
He'd probably just punch him. He could punch him in his little moth wiener.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, you know, gorillas have like small dicks because in fights they rip them off.
Oh.
So they have naturally evolved to have small like peckers. That's a real thing.
Oh God.
Yep. It's a target. So.
Jesus.
Yeah. So maybe it's an advantage for Mothman.
Shit.
Yep.
I didn't think about it that way.
All right. Could I fight this man-bear pig? No, I'm just kidding.
Could you fight Sheepsquatch?
Could I fight the Sheepsquatch? All right. This is hard because the Sheepsquatch seems like a pretty powerful foe. Do I have... Wait. It smells like sulfur, though, right?
It stinks.
It stinks like sulfur.
Oh, yeah. It stinks.
I wonder if it's got like some type of like sulfur attributes to it.
Not from what I saw. It's just got that like sulfury, like rotten eggy stank that like skunks and like weasels and all those kind of animals have. So it's just a little stinky boy.
Well, if it does actually emit like some type of sulfur gas, that means it's flammable or possibly explosive, which makes sense because they think that it has that sulfur smell because it was from like the TNT mine areas, West Virginia.
Don't forget, it allegedly pees acid.
Yeah, so I just gotta get it with an empty bladder. But so if it is explosive, if it's not explosive, it's probably flammable though too because it's pretty much it's got like sheep wool, and wool's flammable. So all I would have to do is set a fire and set the thing on fire, and it would possibly explode because of the sulfur gas it's emitting and burn up.
Okay, so you're gonna light him on fire.
I would light him on fire, and that would probably get him.
How are you gonna light him on fire?
I just make a fire and light him on fire
How are you gonna make a fire?
with wood and stuff.
How are you gonna do that in time while he's trying to kill you? Remember, this is all chance encounters.
Do I have a horse near me?
You don't have a horse.
Am I near a horse?
You were not near a horse. You were just
Am I near
out.
anything that resembles a horse?
You're out hiking in the woods.
Are you with me?
I am not with you because I make good decisions.
Is somebody with me?
Just you and yourself.
Can I bring my friend David?
No.
I tied David to a tree, and I lit a fire. No, I don't know. Yeah, no, I feel like I could make a fire pretty fast if I have a lighter, or if I have a lighter on. I normally have a lighter on me.
I thought that's true. You do smoke. Okay,
smoke.
okay. Now you have an alibi and a reason to have a lighter.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Okay.
I light Mothman, or I light the Sheepsquatch on fire immediately as soon as he gets his hands on me. Sulfur, he explodes, just blows up. I win.
But that's the thing. I don't think he's emitting sulfur gas. I think
Well,
he
smells like
stinks
sulfur.
like rotten eggs.
In fact, he even
So do weasels.
Yeah, but he's like, TNT from the. They think
so
it's
do
from
you.
like the TNT. I don't smell like sulfur. I smell like Campbell's chicken noodle soup. It's, on a bad day, cream of mushroom. But like.
All right. So assuming he emits sulfur, you're gonna blow him up. Assuming he doesn't, what's your strategy?
Okay, say he doesn't blow up.
Now you just pissed off this sheep monster.
I climb on his back.
Fire.
I hold on to him by the wool.
Okay.
He obviously cannot reach behind his back like that because of his horns and whatnot.
Bear bot. Yeah, you're right. Because bears can't. They have to like lean on rocks and shit.
And
okay.
I just start choking him. Right, I choke him out. I get him unconscious. Rear naked choke.
Charlie,
yeah.
I'm gonna put a huge hole in your theory here.
Okay.
I don't think you can choke out the Sheepsquatch.
I think you can.
Do you think you can put a bear in a fucking triangle hold?
I've never tried, but I think I could.
Have you seen the size of their necks?
Yeah.
You're not gonna close that. No.
I definitely could.
No, I refuse to let you have that.
That's a big area right there. Okay, I can fit
not big enough to fit a sheep head.
Well, I could. Sheep neck is pretty small. I could
maybe like a regular sheep. Yeah.
All right, so I could fight a sheep, right?
You could fight a sheep. I could fight a sheep.
Yeah, it's just the squatch part that's a little difficult. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. I could take him in a fight. I could definitely take him in a fight, especially if I had time to prepare, because
there's no preparation to this.
I know, but I would dress up as a sheep because he wouldn't attack me.
What? So that it fucks you?
No! This plan went horribly wrong. Terribly wrong.
Runs out in the woods. Bah.
Yeah. No. But he probably doesn't want to hurt a sheep. So, I'd be dressed up as a sheep, and then I'd sneak up and kill him. I think he is explosive, though. So this is all just like, what if he's not explosive? He's obviously explosive. Well, he's the Sheepsquatch. Everyone knows they're explosive, just like they piss acid.
Charlie, I think you're just going to end up getting pwned by the Sheepsquatch.
I don't think I will. I think I would win this fight. But, what about you? Could you fight a Sheepsquatch?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well that's because you have no confidence. But
I have confidence in my ability to get fucking wrecked by this thing.
Could you fight a sheep?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever fought a sheep before?
Cannot say that I have.
Oh, so you don't know, I guess. Wow.
But I know that I could take one if it got aggressive with me, yes.
Yeah. But,
yep.
Alright, cool. So we've got that covered. We all understand that I can fight the Sheepsquatch. One of these days we're going to find a cryptid. I'm going to fight it in real life. I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to blow your mind. No, we're going to hang out in West Virginia one day. We're going to run into Mothman. I'm just going to beat the crap out of him. And you'll be like, you know what? Charlie didn't lie. You can do it.
You know what? If you can get your hands on Mothman, so let's give this bad boy a rating.
Yeah, let's give him a rating. So let's talk about how real is he?
All right. How real is the Sheepsquatch? Well, considering he is an amalgamation of 7 different animals.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I will give him points for it being an enduring story.
Yeah.
We've got 65-ish years of sightings, and they've all been of the same thing. There's not a lot of... With a lot of cryptid stories, we notice that the size gets bigger as it's told over and over again, or it gets scarier looking. Look at the Jersey Devil. How many versions of the Jersey Devil have we seen? How many versions of Mothman are there? Even though Mothman was only around for 3 days. This one is pretty consistently bear-sized, sheep's wool, goat horns, claws, teeth. So that gives it some points. So I'm going to say, and also because it's got a small territory, it's only really seen in the same southern West Virginia area. Yeah. So that gives it also some merit too. It's not this like countrywide, like everyone and their mother is seeing it and we just can't catch this thing. So I'm going to give it I think I'm going to give it a solid 3.5.
3.5. Okay, cool. That's a good score. I was getting worried that you were going to give it like a 4 something. I was like,
I was thinking about it, and then I'm like thinking back to the fact that it's like got so many different traits from so many different animals, making it kind of a little less realistic in my mind.
You know, that doesn't really throw it off for me. The thing that throws it off for me is that the story came from the 1950s, or even before that, and it wasn't cited again till the late 90s.
Right, 94 was the first sighting again.
Yeah, and there was a couple sightings, but then all of a sudden it gets, featured in like this magazine about cryptids, and everybody starts talking about it, and now the Sheepsquatch is like it's almost like come back to life. So
it's like almost a phenomena.
Yeah, it's almost like a pop culture type of thing. So I do think that it's got a little bit of merit to it because it's like one of those older cryptid stories, and it's got a decent amount of sightings, and they're all similar. But I also don't value some of the newer sightings as much as I do as like the older original stories about the Sheepsquatch.
Right.
So I'm gonna give it a 3.1.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right, now for the cool factor, Charlie.
I think this thing's cool as hell.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. No, it's definitely cool. It's big. It's badass. It's tough. It attacks things. I don't like cryptids that don't attack things.
It pees acid.
Pees acid, apparently. I don't know how anyone figured that out, but it does pee acid, I guess.
Smells like an eggy
smells like sulfur. So I think it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna give it a 4.4.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is one of those top tier, badass cryptids. I'm just imagining seeing this thing out in the wild. It would be incredibly cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this thing a 4.5.
4.5.
Maybe you know what? Maybe even a 4.7. Actually, give it a little bit more.
4.7.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He's not 5 out of 5 cool, but he is close.
All right, and our final category, originality.
Well, there's 1,000,000,001 squatches.
Yeah.
But this is the only Sheepsquatch. There's nothing really like him.
No.
He's a doozy.
Yeah.
So I think I've got to be real and give it a straight 5. Like, there's nothing like the Sheepsquatch as far as I've seen or as far as I know. Anything that we've covered and anything that I've got on our schedule, nothing looks like it, nothing acts like it, nothing is like him. Like, the Sheepsquatch is it.
That's what I was saying before. It's one of those victims of uncreative people naming it. Like, originally it was called the White Thing, and then eventually they started calling it Sheepsquatch just because Sasquatch is such a well-known cryptid, and they were just like, okay, that's what it is.
Right.
It is pretty original. There's not much like it. It's a big monster. I mean, it's a big hairy monster, claws and fangs and goat horns. So it's fairly original. There are some similar things out there, giant horned creatures, but yeah, I'll give it a 4.3.
Okay, dig it.
Yeah.
So I've got the math duck ready. What's our final score for this bad boy?
Let me get the math calculator ready because it does much better than the duck. All right, we got 3.5 plus 3.1 plus 4.7 plus 4.4 plus 5.0 plus 4.3. And this cryptid has a score of 25.
That's definitely our highest boy right now.
Yeah, that's the highest of the year right now.
All right, the Sheepsquatch is on top.
Yeah, and also one of our top contenders too. Yeah, 25 is pretty high score for a cryptid.
Damn right.
So.
Damn right.
Cool.
I dig it. I dig it all. The Sheepsquatch, man, it's a badass. And Charlie thinks he can fight it, but the minute he pees on his foot, it's over. So can't do it, dude.
Well, my feet are acid proof, so I wear sandals.
I know. I watched you sink up to your knee in a fucking mud pit in sandals.
Oh man, I was really upset we didn't find anything cool in that mud pit.
Yeah, that sucked. We went. Yeah. If you guys follow our Instagram, and if you don't, go follow our Instagram, DNR Paranormal. Go check it out. We did an investigation a couple months ago in a dried up reservoir because there's the ruins of a bridge from when there was a village in the reservoir, and we went to go see if we could get any ghosty things, and it was a dud.
Yeah.
So you can read up. You can read
ghosts
that.
Don't really live underwater like that.
But you would think they would with drownings and all that other shit. But you know what? Yeah, you win some, you lose some. But yeah, you go check that out on our Instagram. You can read the write-up and see all the cool pictures and stuff we took.
Yeah.
It was definitely a cool time to be able to stand on that bridge. That's
it was cool.
Submerged.
Yeah.
So that in itself was neat, but it was a sucky dud of a...
Walking under it was probably dangerous, but...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely for sure. I think... Yeah, so I'm going to go through the whole spiel that I do at the end of every episode. Hop into our Discord on all of our socials and all that kind of stuff. We post about what's going on in the community. We chat with each other. We're trying to build that up. You can see Sexy Mothman. We're trying to get this community a little bit more integrated and a little bit more knit and fool around stuff. So if you've got if you want to make fan art and post it in there, if you want to talk cryptids, if you want to share stories, if you want to talk about ghosts, we also have a voice channel for chilling.
Yes.
I get the ADHD bug, and I'll sit here on my laptop and build our schedule for like 4 hours straight in the middle of the night. So if you're a night owl like I am, and you're bored, I hop into that Discord channel with my mic on, and I just chat with whoever's hanging out while I work on the schedule. Like I said, you can share fan art, you can share stories, you can chat with us, you can request which cryptids you want to see.
Yeah.
You can give us tips on, cryptid movies that you've seen that you want to talk about. Really good horror movies, ghost movies, anything like that. Cryptid books,
games, cryptid anything,
games, ghost movies, whatever. Like that's what we do. We hang out in here, we chat. Go follow our Instagram if you don't already, DNR_paranormal. Go follow us on Facebook at DNR Paranormal. Go follow our TikTok if you really wanna. Kelly, got anything else to say to the people before we go?
No. Happy holidays. I don't know if there's a holiday. There's not a holiday coming. Happy holidays, so.
All right, guys.
Peace.